Today is 635th day that I'm here to share lessons I learned, and I'm learning. I hope this also supports your dreams, your goals, allow you to become the person that you want to become. Today is a very important topic, and that is identity. Because the way how you decide your identity will dictate how you live your life. Are you moving forward? Are you going backwards? How you go through adversity and how you go through good days. Because when you choose your identity, a lot of times you take actions based on your identity. So that means you need to be very, very careful how you choose your identity. And today I'll share 11 things that what you need to consider when you think about identity. But there's more than 11, but just have awareness that identity is one of the essential things in life, because who you are much more important than what you do. Because a lot of times people learn from you and become like you based on your identity. And when you're going through tough days, when you ask yourself who you are as a person, you're able to overcome those bad days. Because when you're asking yourself, should I quit or should I move forward? Then you ask your identity and say that I'm a quitter or I'm not. And if you said I'm not a quitter, you will keep moving forward. But if you have identity where you say like, oh, it's okay to quit and I'm okay with quitting, of course you will quit on your dreams, quit on your goals, quit on your aspirations, and you will quit on a lot of things. So what you say that is who you are, that identity is essential, and we need to build that up to make sure that we live a joyful life. Because as I said, that our identity will dictate what kind of actions do we take. So let's get deep dive into really what that identity could potentially mean. So first one is that identity is that self-concept. The first one is self-concept. So who you are as a person. So that means that the broader picture of who you are as a person. So when you know exactly self-concept, how you visualize yourself and how you see yourself, that is a self-concept. Number two is emotional identity. So that means how you see yourself. Do you see yourself as emotionally resilient? Do you see yourself of a person who is able to persevere? So that means that emotional identity, you have understanding where are your emotions, and you're able to see that. And a lot of times people say, oh, I'm not very good in that. Oh, I'm not good in control my emotions. Other person, oh, I'm very good with taking care of my emotions. So you are able to choose your identity, how you manage your emotions. Number three is self-esteem. Again, there's so many things that you'll be able to choose. Because if you say that, oh, I'm not confident, I'm not enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not confident, I'm not competent, that will reduce your self-esteem. But you say, okay, I'm a competent, I'm confident, I'm able to improve, I'm able to get better, I'm becoming better every day, and I am a confident person. That will increase your self-esteem. Now, of course, self-esteem is much more confident than confident, because when you have self-esteem, when you know who you are as a person, as identity, you are able to be in any room in the world and you still feel confident. You know exactly who you are. No one is able to say you a word and then tremble you. But when you do not know who you are, and when people say something about you, then people get triggered and they get disappointed and they feel rejected, because they do not have that identity, self-esteem strong enough to be not bothered by other people's opinions. Number four, insecurities and vulnerabilities. I think that every single person has those. Some kind of insecurities, some things that they get triggered, that is not helpful, it's not healthy. And of course, when you know them and you're able to work on them and understand that those insecurities are not who you are, it's just part of your identity that you need to really clean. Because every single diamond, you need to make sure that you clean before it looks beautiful. That exactly it is with insecurities. And insecurities comes not from internal. A lot of times insecurities come from external sources. So that means we need to be able to detach from those external sources, because internally we do not have insecurities if we able to clean those off. So of course, identity part is that in our identity there is some things that we need to clean. And a lot of times it's blind spots. And we're able to ask other people who love us that what kind of insecurities do I have as well, and bring that awareness that you could clean it off. Number 5 is personal values. Personal values is very, very important because of what you value. Of course, values is supposed to be what you say you value and what you do. Because a lot of times people say, oh, my wife, my kids is my most important thing in my life. But when you look into where you spend your money, where you spend your time, sometimes it doesn't look like that. Because people spend so much money on some cars, some trips, some job that they spend, and they work like 12 hours every single day, and they don't spend any time neither with their family, neither their friends, neither with something that they said that is very important. So it's, when you say that your value is something, what do you do to prove that your value is that you live your value? For example, if you say that your value is health, do you eat healthy? Do you exercise? Do you take care of your health? So that means that you always make sure that you always reflect on your values and look into, do you live by your values? Because identity is part that sometimes we say one thing, but deep down we are not living it because we don't believe in it. Number 6 is aspirations and goals. And of course, our identity will dictate what kind of aspirations and goals you will pursue. Because if our identity is that we are achievers, we are performers, we are goal orientated, then we'll, of course, we'll create goals that we can move towards. But if your identity says like, oh no, like I'm a just average person, I just want to stay below other people, of course you will not create any goals, you will not have aspirations. That's why I said that we need to create our identity based on the things that could fulfill you. Because if you have a work and you have that work for 10 years and you feel fulfilled by having that job, that's this beautiful thing. But if you do not feel that joy, fulfillment, and you feel that something is missing, a lot of times we need to ask, okay, what kind of identity do we have, and do we live by the identity? Because if you see, okay, I'm a performer, I am a high achiever, I want to pursue big goals, but you day by day do exactly the same things, of course there is no fulfillment in that. Number 7 is spirituality. So that means, what kind of spirituality do you have? Like meditation, like do you believe in a higher power, do you believe in God? What makes you like, because I truly believe that we need to understand that there is more just physical body, there is our mind, and how you take care of your mind is very, very important. It doesn't matter how you take care of your mind, but you need to take care of your mind. And a lot of times people find spirituality, meditation, different ways to have the spirituality, because spirituality is not about religion itself, but really about connecting yourself, your mind, with the body itself. And religion sometimes is one of the best ways to do it. But again, this is up to every single person, how they want to connect with their spirituality. Number 8 is self-image. Self-image is more about the body itself now. Spirituality is all about mind, and self-image is all about the body. How do you see yourself? Because when you see that said, oh, I'm very, I love the fitness, and I love fitness body, and I'm a person of sports. So does your body shows that? Because a lot of times people want to be exercise, they want to be looking good, but at the same time, because their internal identity is not that person of sports, they, of course, they are overweight, they don't take care of their body, they don't eat well, they don't exercise, and of course that show up on their body. But when you have identity of a person who loves fitness, who has amazing body, of course self-image in that sense will be a little bit better. Number 9 is cognitive identity. So that means that how you see your mental powers, how you see yourself in intelligence. Like, of course, this is emotional intelligence, so there is a IQ. Now, like, how do you see your IQ? Because, of course, every single person has a different IQ, and how you see yourself in cognitively, how well you're able to really problem solve and understand different exercises, because every single different person has different cognitive abilities. Now, of course, does cognitive abilities control your success as a business owner or employee? Yes. If you want to be employee, more cognitive powers is needed. If you are a business owner, I always believe that emotional intelligence is a little bit more important. But at the same time, it's very important to understand how much capabilities do you have, and what do you need to do to really a little bit to improve it. Number 10 is introversion and extroversion, because every single person knows that what kind of activities are energizing you. Because I know that I'm a extroverted, introvert, or ambivert. Like when I used to do all those personalities, like 2 times or 3 times in a row, it was 51% extrovert, 49 introvert. That shows that I'm very, very close in the middle. But at the same time, I love one-on-one conversations, but I hate crowds. Like crowds destroy my energy, but one-on-one conversations increases my energy. I love reading books. I love to go into nature. So that means that I love both extroversion and introversion. When you know that, of course, you're able to allocate more time into things that really elevates your energy. And you need to know yourself as well to be able to elevate your energy as well. Number 11 is personal narratives. So that means that what kind of stories do you sell to yourself? What kind of things about the past do you think? Do you accept the things that happened in the past to you as an identity? Because a lot of times people make mistakes and they attach a mistake to identity. And that is very bad because you did a mistake because you didn't know any better. But it's not who you are, it's just what you did. And there's a huge difference what you did and who you are. Because if what you did, you're able to learn a lesson from it and really reflect on it. Now you're able to move that failure, that mistake, and say, okay, because I made that mistake and I am a person of change, improvement, and growth and reflection, I'm able to use this mistake and add to the future that I could be much better in whatever I do. So that means every mistake is supposed to enhance your identity of a person who constantly grows. Number 12, and the last one that I really want to mention, is moral identity. So that means what kind of ethics do you live by? Because it's very, very important to have morals. Because when you have very high morals, people start to really trust you and have moral authority to add and give advice. Because moral authority is one of the important things in life, because if you really want to add value to people, you need to have some kind of moral authority to really add value through the advice and through the actions that you take. So what kind of moral rules do you have? What kind of ethics do you have? Because that is essential, because you're able to create an identity. So that means you will not do activities that potentially could really hurt you and start feeling that you could potentially feel guilty. Because if you did something against your morals, of course, what you will feel ashamed, will feel guilt. That means that we need to learn how to act and build that morals of our ethics and really live by those. So identity is a huge, huge topic, and it could make or break your life. So I truly believe that we need to work very hard to choose who we want to be, because I said that I'm not a quitter. I am a person who is a fighter, who will do whatever it takes. If I will have at least one chance to succeed, I will take it. And because I have that identity, during tough days, I'm able to persevere and be resilient, because I chose identity of a person who perseveres through tough days. So that means that I truly believe that you need to sit down and say, like, this is the person I want to be, and I will work to become this kind of person. And when you choose your identity, identity that is positive and helpful, then of course, I truly believe that everything in life is possible. I have changed so much in my life, and there are so many things that I need to change, but I know I'll be able to change because I believe that incremental improvements, incremental change, and that incremental change leads to huge changes. So I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.